Did you call bank? I call game.
Video was made possible and sponsored by MMOCS. Buy cheap NBA 2K MT at MMOCS.com. Use my promo code PACG and you can get a 5% discount. What's up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here, and today I'm talking about comeback seasons. In NBA 2K19, I'm gonna go through the 5 players that are having a comeback season in the NBA today. Before this video starts, a reminder that I'm doing a giveaway of 35,000 VC, and you can win it. All you have to do is subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter, and then tweet at me. Done. You do these 3 things, I'll put you in a randomizer and you can win 35,000 VC for free for any console. Another thing, join the Pack Nation, trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. Be an OG, because when you're not an OG, you're an OG, and nobody wants to be an OG. So to start this video off, I have to explain what a comeback season is. A comeback season is when a player in the NBA played at a high level and then one season drops off and stops playing as good as he used to. But then out of nowhere, he is now having a season where he's playing almost as good as when he was in his prime. That is a comeback season. For example, Dwight Howard last year had a comeback season. Not exactly a comeback season because obviously he wasn't as good as he was with the Magic, but when he left the Magic, he was playing for all these teams, wasn't doing good at all, and then with the Hornets, he did really well, almost as good as when he was with the Magic. This year's a different story, but last year, Dwight Howard had a comeback season. As opposed to Tony Parker, you're arguing right now today he's having a comeback season because he's playing good with the Hornets, but in fact he's not, because even though he's playing better than last season, he is not playing as good as when he was in his prime, when he was like almost an MVP. Does that make sense? That makes sense, yes. Starting this list off at number 5, it is my boy Wesley Matthews. Here are his stats from his best season, last season, and this season so far. As you can tell, statistically, he's having a comeback season. Now, Wesley Matthews was an amazing player back with Portland, but ever since he moved to the Mavericks, he just has not been as good as a player as he was in Portland. I mean, he wasn't bad, don't get me wrong, but he was nothing like how he used to be. But now, all of a sudden, this season, I don't know what it is that he's playing at a super high level, just as good as he was back in Portland with Dame Dollar Bill. And also, he's been helping the Mavericks win all of a sudden. They started off the season bad, but they've been winning lately with Luka Doncic leading them. So Wesley Matthews hitting threes, playing okay defense. I mean, not as good as he used to, but playing pretty good defense right now. Wesley Matthews so far having a comeback season. At number 4 on this list, it is Kawhi Leonard. Yes, Kawhi Leonard is having a comeback season. This is his best season ever statistically, last season, and his current season so far. Statistically, he is having a comeback season. However, I may sound like a salty Spurs fan here, because like I am, but Kawhi Leonard never had a bad season in the first place. In reality, he was probably faking an injury. Yes, I know maybe he did get an injury, and there's all these things we have no idea about with Kawhi Leonard and what happened. He probably was as good as he ever was last year, but he just didn't play. So he played limited minutes and maybe he did have like a thigh bruise, but in reality, he was fine the whole time and he could have been as good as he ever was. So really, he doesn't have a comeback season, but because statistically he has a comeback season, he's on this list. Here with the Raptors, he's not only leading his team to the best team in the East and maybe even favorites to make it to the finals, but you could argue this team is the best defensive team in the NBA, and it starts with Kawhi Leonard. At number 3, staying on the Raptors, it's Ibaka. Here are his stats from his best season ever, last season, and the season currently. So, Serge Ibaka. So when he played for the Thunder with Westbrook, Harden, and KD, he was a starting power forward on the team, one of the best defensive forces in the league. He was getting like 3.7 blocks a game. That's why he's called Ibaka. But when he went to the Raptors, he was not playing as good as he always was. He wasn't getting the same kind of blocking numbers as he was years before. He wasn't scoring as much, rebounds weren't the same, and he was still getting the same minutes. I don't know what it was about Ibaka that like stopped that, but all of a sudden now with Kawhi Leonard entering the team and a new coach, he has been balling out, not getting the same blocking numbers, we have to understand that, but he has been scoring like crazy. He's getting boards. He's looking like one of the better players on this team. That's crazy for Ibaka. At number 2 on this list, it is Danilo Gallinari. Here you see him, 81 overall in NBA 2K19. third best player on this Clippers team that is winning somehow. He is having a comeback season. Okay, this is his stats from his best season ever, this last season, and now currently. As you can see, he's having a comeback season. Maybe you could even argue he's going to be playing better than he ever has before. Now, when Danilo Gallinari was on the Nuggets, you could have argued that he was the best player on that team. And then once he landed to the Clippers, all LA fans, all Clippers fans are saying that this guy might just be a bust when they picked him up. He was not playing as good as they expected him to. Well, Danilo Gallinari shut everyone up this year so far because he's been playing out of his mind. And if he continues like this, he could even lead the team in scoring. Danilo Gallinari is doing great offensively, probably the best shooter on the team, and is a serious threat for maybe even making the playoffs in the West. A big part of that is because of Gallinari. And finally, at number 1, anyone could have guessed this, Derrick Rose, my boy D Rose. You all thought he was gonna get 6th man of the year. No, he's going for MVP. Look at this dude's numbers, his best season ever, last season, and then this current season. You see that? That's not true at all, because you know why? This current season, he's not playing the same amount of minutes as he was in his MVP season. So if you were to do a per 36, he's almost averaging the exact same numbers as he was in his MVP season. I know everyone's saying to calm down about Derrick Rose, but he's getting buckets, rebounds, and assists like his MVP season. Think about that. Sure, his athleticism is not what he was when he was on the Bulls because of all the injuries and surgeries he's had. But he is playing at a high level at 30 years old as a point guard. That's crazy. He has an 80 overall rating in 2K, but that's not true at all. Right now, Derrick Rose is easily having the best comeback season of anybody in the NBA. And that is it for this list, you guys. Did I miss anybody? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like my channel, give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.
Did you call bank?